what's happening, old man?
Well, it's a bit foggy. If you come outside, I'll show you how bad it is.
All right.
They're saying we might have to run fog lights.
We run fog lights?
Yeah, but I'm a bit concerned that you won't even see the rain light, will you?
I think that we need to be driving ships and have friggin' fog horns.
Maybe we can hit a bell, you know, tell them we're coming. Yeah, we'll be out there soon.
So we qualified in 9th, and this is race 1 for the Super TT at Winton. Did an okay start. I was a bit concerned at how my start would be, actually. Oh, there goes the old man into Josh. Josh pinched him down a bit, and I think the old man got cold tyres, bit of a racing incident there. And now I'm like, wonder if they're gonna, this is all good. Like, yeah, I don't notice any yellow flags, and as I do this pass, I notice a yellow flag, and it says safety car. So keep that in mind. I think I passed under yellow as well. So all these guys up front are still racing. And I've backed off now because it's safety car. And 1 car goes by, 2 goes by. Now I'm still running at this stage. I'm slowing down now, so I think anyone that passes me now has realised I've got a problem. But yeah, I reckon probably watching the guys up front, I think there was a fair bit of passing under safety car, and I heard there was afterwards. But anyway, yeah, that was the end of race 1. Not great. Not great at all. Okay, what do you think? Just laughing at us.
I've got no idea.
I can't see any sensor anywhere there.
So I'm driving out to see Corey. Had a failure in race 1 on the opening lap. Just all died, all my power, and we've found got no spark. So we think that the crank angle sensor is shit itself. I'm hoping that's the case. So I'm doing the hour and 10 drive out to Corey. He's out like in Albury area. Hopefully that fixes it in the morning. We'll put it in the morning, and yeah, we'll go again. Dad had an eventful start. Someone ran into him, pushed him off the track. Didn't give a fuck. Unfortunately, it was like 3 hits in that race. And yeah, some of the driving was good, but some of it wasn't. It's just a bit strange. But anyway, so hopefully we get it fixed and I can get out and get a run in the first race tomorrow. So yeah, we'll let you guys know.
Whistling into, you know, what was turn 1 for me, turn 1 and 2, going down the back straight. It'd be the first time I've ever really been able to hear a crowd. There's 190,000 people here or something. They're all standing up watching, and this thing, because it had a megaphone on it, it sounded like it was doing, you know, 14,000 rounds.
So it's Sunday morning and I have my, how old are you, Dad?
73.
73-year-old dad lying on 0 degrees concrete while my young 49-year-old body stands with gloves and 2 jumpers on. What do you think, Kurt?
Mate, he's better than me.
He knows stuff, doesn't he?
He does, mate. He's the...
We've got to use his expert brain while it's still around, don't we?
Absolutely.
And this will either work or we'll be drinking beer, won't we? No, maybe not beer, coffee. Either way, coffee.
Make a coffee in a minute. So I'm going to do this first.
You got to do this first.
Yeah.
Then he'll make us coffee. We'll make Kurt a coffee. Do you drink coffee?
Yeah.
Fuck, Kurt's going to drink coffee with us. This is Kurt. He's quite a famous go-kart racer.
I don't know about famous.
Race extraordinaire, sim racer. If you run into him because you drive like shit, he'll tell you to fucking pull your head in. And look at this top he's got on. Far out.
And we have matching hat over there.
I feel almost like we should do this colour scheme on the black cars.
That's cool.
You all good?
So race 2, again I thought I'd take it pretty easy. So I was off rear of grid. There's a couple of guys that didn't finish the first race as well, so behind me that Evo, I knew it was pretty quick. obviously I've only done 8 laps so far around the track, so you know, these guys done, oh, nice lock up there. I really was trying to pick, yeah, there's not really, yeah, what can I say? I don't want to have a go at these guys. They're having a crack, but maybe some mirrors, maybe look in the mirror, that'd be nice. Everyone would have a bit more fun. Yeah, the car, I've started to get used to the shift, and now the sequential, it's not really a sequential shifter, it's like it shifts like a sequential in the fact that you pull back and push forward, but it's still a H pattern, so it's quite a slow shift. Thankfully around here I did most of the lap in 2 gears, if not 1 gear, so it wasn't too bad. I just slowly picked my way through the cars. I didn't want to smash my car, I'm still trying to, I'm just getting my head around it. Just a bit of a parade. They're almost like all vintage, and it feels like some of them, isn't it? So unfortunately this is a reverse grid race, so I'm back at the back again. There's a few quick guys behind me because I think I finished 5th or something in the race before from last, so I was pretty happy with that. Again, I let these guys go. As you can see, there's smoke and dust and rocks as people are flying off the track and weaving all over the place. But yeah, my main aim was to get through this first lap as cleanly as possible. Don't really like being on the outside here. Thankfully, I think it was Lauren behind me. Let me come in a bit closer. There were some really good drivers. Like some people were really fantastic. They didn't want to damage their cars. They were just out to have some fun, and they could dice, they'd dice, but they weren't trying to block quick cars. And I think the same can be said for quick cars. Some guys were fantastic. They were patient. Other guys were very pushy, which cause dramas, but yeah, this was pretty cool. So sort of, I suppose I'm now just starting to sort of get used to how the car feels. I'm really driving, I think it was what I said all weekend, about 7/10, so I was really taking it easy. I was getting a bit feisty up there. I was watching all this and I was like, that's pretty fun. But it was good to be able to just stick with these boys. So they're the sort of reasonably quick guys in Super TT, so in Victoria anyway. So it was nice to see that out of the box with some issues, we still I think would be quite competitive once I get a few more laps and start pushing it harder, getting it to grip up. I had no grip all weekend. Josh is bouncing off everything. Drives that car pretty aggressively. He said to me that's how it's fast, and I suppose that does make sense. If I drove my car aggressively, I'd probably be a bit quicker too, but Paul had an issue with his exhaust, so he was down a little bit on power. Looked at the outside, but yeah, that wasn't going to really happen, was it? I must say I do like the V8. I like the sound, I like the torque. This has only got about between 280 and 300 rear wheel kilowatts, depending on what dyno you put it on. So it's not it's not very crazy at all. Just on pump 98, it's dry sucked. Slightly bigger injectors, head studs, and a few things. I got it from Checkered Tuning. It's the old drift cap motor before they changed to a NASCAR. So Paul was pretty kind. He didn't fight it. He knew he had a problem. Through here, I was able to catch them a lot, and I was backing off a lot anyway. As you can see, Josh is looking for a pass on every side of the track, and so he tips it in there. By this point, I think he's look at that. Yep. I think I said what the fuck under my helmet. And as you can see, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, these boys, that's all good. But they're taking this weekend a bit more seriously than I am as far as this finishing position. I was taking it seriously as in wanted to get my head around the car and have fun and hopefully have the car straight so that we can go do the bend with nationals and get flogged, but have a bit of fun. I actually think all my time in sports sedans has helped with the slow and fast traffic, because I've been on both sides. I've been the fast guy and I've been the slow guy, and they're both different techniques to get through a race as. And I think you know, I would have liked to have seen a bit more discussion from the DSO for the weekend with drivers as a group, just to educate, because we all can learn. I learned. I passed under yellow, didn't I, in the first race, just as I was doing it. And I can have all the excuses in the book, but it's still a pass under yellow. And I think that the only way we're getting better as drivers and people is with some education and some discussion. So anyway, it was a good race, and yeah, I think I finished like 6th, didn't I, in this race? So that was the starting position for the what was going to be the final race. So pretty stoked. The car, yeah, the car temps and everything were really good. Actually, probably a little low. Probably could have been would have been nice to get a bit more heat into the car. So not a bad problem to have, I suppose, is it? Anyway, yeah, a lot of fun. So this is the final race. I think I'm off 6th, am I? 5th or 6th, so that's pretty cool. Again, I'm like, oh, I don't like the start grid. Lots of smoke from the old man. 2 Evos, or a Subi and an Evo, go blasting by either side of me. I just held my ground, or held my lane, I should say. Let Skyline go by. He was excited too. I'm just looking, his car's all around the back of me. Looking in my mirrors too much, as Brett Dickey would tell me. Sometimes not enough, eh? Yeah, just sort of cruising around. I think there's someone on the left of me a little bit. Look, just checking my mirror. That's what they're there for. So yeah, like, oh yeah, pretty happy. This is not too bad. I'm around here. Tyres not getting much grip, and then old man McClurkin loses it, and and I go, oh, might be a cafe over here. I eat some grass. Now looking for my rejoin. Is anyone there? Paul's like, oh fuck, and I'm like, oh, hopefully no one's on my left. But there wasn't, so now I'm putting more stones on the track. I was good at that this weekend. Didn't actually spin off or anything. Now I'm like, wonder if they're gonna safety car this. I'm actually taking it a bit easy, which is probably a bit dumb in a way, isn't it? Looking back at it. But I thought that maybe they'd safety car that, but they'd actually cleared it, so it's like, oh well, let's have a look up here. No, looks like it's alright. Okay. He's like, oh, I reckon I could get you. And I was like, I don't reckon you can, mate, but sure. So I hung in tight, gave him some room, drifted out, because I think he backed it. Oh no, he's still out there. And I was like, oh well, I think we're racing. Sounds like I'm just driving to get coffee, isn't it? I think maybe I was still a bit wondering whether we were going to get a yellow flag or not. But clearly we're not, Ran, so how about pulling your finger out? You'd have to think by now I've figured it out. Oh, yeah, come on. We've always said that this car doesn't sound like I'm pushing it hard. It's a very... I've decided I call it the fat pig, with a P, not a F. She's, yeah, I don't know, she's just like a bit of a lazy, lumpy thing. Go. Like on the inside, not on my ideal line. The car was slippery. I was finding it hard to get grip, so I didn't want to just get on it. I was being very ginger. So it took me a few laps, probably 3 or 4 laps, and then I was able to catch up to the Evo. I don't know who's gone off there. There was quite a lot of smoke and dust. It was quite dry out there actually, which is good. I'm not going to complain. I prefer a dry track. Very cold at night, but yeah, lots of dust. I think the trucks bring a lot of crap onto the track. The Winton crew were trying very hard to keep it clean. They did a great job, so thank you very much to Winton and all the volunteers and all the workers and everything like that. Do a fantastic job, so thank you. Now I should probably point out I was running as an invited car for no points, so hence why I was not, you know, interested in getting involved in battles and everything. I didn't need to. I was invited to come along and run because my old man was, and my car isn't really quite up to, isn't the right specs. It's built to sports sedan regs. Now I think I let the boys through because again, they're fighting really hard. They're really good mates, and I had a feeling that they would have no problems rubbing panels and dicing, and I just was like, you know what, I'm not going to get caught up in this. So let them by and thought, let's see if we can go with them. And clearly we can. Backed out early again. I was like, oh well, what's the point? But in saying that, Damo was being super nice. He hung on the outside. He could have jumped in front, so I think he was having a play. I just didn't want to get involved in stuff. Maybe if I was running for points and it was a bit more serious, I probably would drive a bit differently. But thought they're going to have a crack with each other. We're going through some lap traffic as well, so it always adds an extra dimension. But it was a lot. Look, it was a lot of fun. I'm super stoked that Super TT invited me along. Had a lot of fun with Kurt rocking up, our buddy from the sim racing world, who's a wealth of knowledge and he's into the same sort of stuff. And it's a bit quiet like us. I know that makes no sense. And of course the old man, it was unfortunate that he had a couple of offs. I think I said to him the moral of the story is probably you probably need to get some fresh rubber on. I was wondering what he was doing. And looking back on it, it's not so bad. You just get a bit excited. You're like, why are you coming across? But he's allowed to. He's in front. I try hard actually not to get too emotional when I drive. And despite the occasional yell, I actually had an awesome time. I was laughing and smiling flat out, just enjoying myself. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. So yeah, that was a pretty cool weekend away with Super TT. Thanks for them for letting us come run. I ran as an invited car because my car doesn't quite collapse, but yeah, I was so stoked that they let us run. Yeah, driving back from Winton now. Yeah, besides some minor issues, battery failed, so the battery we threw out, that's dead. But it's an old battery, and crank angle sensor failed, so core gillet to something for another one. I drove out to Albury and back to grab that last night, and we got through all the races. Yeah, I think I got down to a 105.7, I believe. I'll check that, but pretty happy with that. Like driving at maybe 7/10. I was cruising most of that last race. Yeah, a lot of the races I was doing pretty much in third down to second, but mainly in third. The shifter, the S1 sequential shifter, it's kind of good and it's kind of not. So I don't know. I think I'll stay with it, but it needs some. The shifter actually moves on the locator. It's not splined. I don't know why the hell they designed it that way, but yeah, I'm going to do some modifications to that. It's a slow shift, but that box was slow, so I think if I went back to HPAT, it wouldn't be any better anyway. So yeah, I'd just leave it, but definitely make some improvements. Yeah, you know what? I'm really happy I bought that car back. I do like it. It's a cool car. It's a really interesting time capsule because when I built it, I knew what I knew, and what I know now is a lot different to then. So yeah, I'm really excited to keep improving the car. I think you know, it was only sold to buy the Honda, which obviously I couldn't afford. So buying this back feels pretty cool. Thanks for Mark for selling it back to me. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Chev. It's pretty cool. You know, it's so torquey. It sounds tough. The car was a bit of a pig. It's a bit of a fat pig, I've decided. But yeah, quite slippery out there with the trucks and old tyres. So yeah, the car was moving around a lot, but it's quite fun. The diff's a bit funny, and that's what I remember with that car. It locks very aggressively, so I don't know if I can fix that. But yeah, anyway, it was good to race with the old man. He had some good results, and he also had some not good results. But car's not too bad. His car isn't too badly damaged. Thankfully, mine's not damaged at all.
yeah, I raced quite conservatively. Kept my goal in mind, which was to learn about the car and have fun. Let some guys through that probably weren't too much quicker, but were racing quite aggressive, and I didn't really want to get involved in that. So yeah, big thanks to RACEWORKS for all the fuel stuff before I came to this round. PENRITE, it's all got PENRITE oil in it now. That car used to have a different brand, but now it's all PENRITE. gktech, I haven't put all their stuff in yet. Slowly start putting it in. I don't think I need their rack system that actually speeds up the steering. It's pretty good as it is, so I'll probably leave that. Turbo Smart, I want to thank them. They don't put anything in this car, but they're rad dudes. Heltec the same. This doesn't have any Heltec gear in it, but I would like a Heltec ECU. I saw the guy that was winning had a Nexus. Come on, boys. How about a Nexus? Come on. Yeah, BMC, we're going to put that filter on. There's a few things, so yeah, Autobahn, Sunbury. Obviously my dad's helped a lot. Really appreciate it. It's great to be able to race him and stuff, so